Hello, my name's Linda. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm making a Christmas card today, and it is for a blog hop that I'm doing, the Stampin' Hop blog hop, and the theme is Jump Start to Christmas. And what I'm going to be using, and I've got my catalogue out so I can show you, it is when I received my catalogue, which was ages ago now, before June, I was very pleased to see these designer series papers down here. So they are, and I've got some here, there's like spots and stripes, and they come in the brights, the regals, the subtles, the neutrals, and I bought the new in colour and the subtles, and when I received them I thought, don't they look like snowflakes? Now can you see? And I thought I must use them at Christmas, and then I promptly forgot. And then the other day I remembered that they look like snow, and so I'm going to be using some of this paper. And let me bring in, and actually I've got loads of things to show you that I'm going to be using. On this occasion I appear to be using the whole of my stash. So I'm hoping that you can adapt, because obviously you're not going to have everything that I've got, but hopefully you can adapt. Now the main framelits I'm using are the in this pile somewhere, this one, the Hometown Greetings, and I bought this last Christmas and it is a fantastic set. I'm using one of those. I'm just using one of the stitch shapes, and in the window box finlets I'm using something so tiny. I am using this little die, and it's got these little hearts in. I'm just using one of the hearts. I mean, you might be able to find another set with a little heart in. And then on the seasonal layers I'm using the little branch die, and the farmhouse framelits I'm using the fence die, and I'm not using that one at all. That one has got in by mistake. And I'm using the adhesive sheets. And then for the sets I'm using the Hearts Come Home, which goes with the house framelits. And on the Peaceful Noel I'm just using the Merry Little Christmas stamp for the sentiment. Again, you could use, I'm sure you could adapt this, but let me show you what I've got so far. So I have used the thick Whisper White, and I've made a card base for it just by cutting the A4, so the A4 sheets this way. I've cut it in half, and then I've scored it at 10.5 centimetres, and that is my card base. And then I have a piece of the Subtles snowflakey DSP, and I think this is the Pool Party actually. I don't know what I've got all over that. And I've cut that so it's just a little bit smaller, so it's about 14.5 centimetres by 10 centimetres, and I'm going to have that as a layer on the front. And then I've cut out my little framelit for the houses. Now there's a few options on this one, in these framelits. I've gone for this one at the moment. And so let's start. I'm going to start by gluing this down, and I'm using my silicone mat, and I'm going to put the glue, I'm going to sponge it on the top of my houses because it is easier that way. And I've just got like a sponge that you would use for the bath or the shower. I just cut bits off of it. And I just dab it in and dab it onto these bits at the top, because they are quite intricate and tricky to get the glue on. And then I'm going to just put the tombow at the bottom there, and I can move that out of the way so I don't put my elbow in it. Let's come in a little bit. There we go, so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to be sticking this to the paper, not to the card yet. There we go. And if it does feel a little bit sticky, which can happen, push that down. You can use your embossing buddy. I used it a bit too much there. Just go over the top, and that will just take off all the stickiness. Okay, so that is the start of our card. Okay, now I've cut out this little branch and I've used the wood textures, and I'm going to have that across here. I have actually done a few different options with this design, so, and I'll probably try and make a card that doesn't include so many stamp sets and dies. So I want this to just be coming off, so I can snip that off. That's it. And I've used the adhesive sheet on the back of that so it sticks down nicely. And then I've cut out this lovely snowflake, and that's from the same set as this one. And I've also cut out the frame, not a frame, a fence, and I've used the wood textures DSP as well for this, and I've had to cut two of these out because one is not enough to go all the way across. And I'm going to just cut this post off of this one, so this one can join up with this post. I've got them all stuck together, but again I've used the self-adhesive back on this DSP so that it will stick down, and there we go, and that is where I want to cut off. Where do I want to cut off? I want to cut it off there, and then that bit will attach there, so let's stick that down now. And as you can see, I've put the adhesive on the back here. Right, and so I'm going to stick this onto my card. And the great thing with this adhesive sheet are they are repositional, so you can put it down, and if you don't stick it really hard, you can just pick it back up. It doesn't tear the paper. Just do it gently until you're totally happy, and then when you're happy, where you've got your fence, then you push it down hard, and then it won't move. There we go. And I'm just going to snip these off the back, and that little branch, snip that off. And there we go, it's starting to come together. Then my snowflake, oh no, we're going to do a little bit of stamping first, so let's do that next. I've cut out, using Pool Party, this little tiny circle, and that's from the Stitch Shapes, and I've got my little heart there, and I'm going to bring in my Merry Little Christmas, which is what I got out of the Peaceful Noel set. I'm going to do some heat embossing, so let's use my embossing buddy. Just bring my piercing pad in, and I'm just going to stamp this. There we go. Bring in my embossing powder. I'm going for silver, because I do like a bit of silver and blue. And then I'm just going to shoot over and use my heat tool on that. So I've heat embossed my Merry Little Christmas. Probably quite hard to see because it's quite small. Using my Pick Me Up tool, and Stampin' Up do their own one of these now. I've had this one for a few years, so I'm going to continue to use this one till my putty runs out, and then I'll probably get the Stampin' Up one. Stampin' Up, they sell the putty as well. Oh, that's quite a lot coming out there. I'm just going to put this little heart . There we go, so that's going to go in there. Put that to one side to dry, and then I'm going to bring my card base in, and I'm going to glue this on. Once you've actually cut the elements, it's not that sorry, it is quite speedy to put together. And it does look like snow, doesn't it? I love that. Okay, then I'm going to bring my little snowflake in that I cut out earlier. And I'm going to bring the silicone mat in and come out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to stick this, I'm going to stick it on, if I can pick it up, over here. And then I'm going to bring in some of my dimensionals, and I'm going to pop up my Merry Little Christmas sentiment. And I've actually made these in different colours as well. If you pop over to my blog, you'll be able to see the others that I've made. And I'm going to pop that on there, and look at that, you get these little tiny little balls around the side. Doesn't that look cute? You can't actually see it's a snowflake anymore, but you get those lovely little balls. I love that. I've not put enough glue on there. Okay, and there we go, that is the card finished. And let me show you another one I did. Now this was using the new blueberry bushel. Let's come out a bit so you can see them both at the same time. Did you see that? I came out first go. I usually go the wrong way. And again, I've done a slightly different design. I've not used the branch on this one because I thought it wouldn't work on such a dark background. I've used black for my fence here. And on my little stitch circle, although I've used the same sentiment, I've stamped a couple of holly leaves and put some little berries on there. And they're the, what stamp set did I use? I used this one. So for the Peaceful Nowhere, I used the sentiment and I used these little holly leaves. And there are some berries that you can stamp on, but I've just used the little, I don't know what they're called. I'll put it up here somewhere. Little embellishments on there. And I've got another one that I'm making, so I'll put that on my blog as well, so you can see some different colour options. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to hop along with everybody else on the Stampin' Up blog. Bye.